And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fifth and final segment for today, which is going to be talking about Rich Hill and the free agent market that is currently going on with him. So let's get into it. Now, Rich Hill, I feel like, has been someone that really has been kind of forgotten about with this MLB season for good reason. I mean, it's not really a huge story, but it is something I wanted to talk about, and I thought it made a good fifth segment just going over what could potentially happen with him. Now, Rich Hill, of course, is one of the most legendary baseball players ever, not because of his performance, but because of how many teams he's played for. I mean, he's been a guy that's been all around the league, been through the Independent League, the KBO, NPB, and all over Major League Baseball as well. Has had a crazy MLB career and had a pretty okay season last year for the Pirates and the Padres. Added two teams to his ongoing list of MLB teams that he's played for, and now said at the start of the year as well that he would not be signing with the team and would be waiting for a team to add him at the middle point of the season if they needed pitching depth, and that's what's happening now. Of course, he's 44 years old, just turned 44, and is looking to go to a championship contending team that needs veteran pitching depth. I think that as much as Rich Hill isn't the greatest pitcher, he provides a valuable skill set, which is just a veteran innings eater pitching depth guy that provides a lot of value here. Now, currently with Rich Hill, he has played for the Red Sox, Dodgers, Cubs, Twins, Mets, Rays, Pirates, A's, Padres, Angels. He's played for 13 teams. He played for a lot of teams. So it would be really just fun for me that he would be able to go to a team that he's never played for before. But I just don't think that's going to happen. But it would be really cool to be able to play for basically all the teams in the league. I think it would just be something that would be really, really cool. But overall, I think that some teams could use Rich Hill, and I think that overall, as much as he kind of become a meme player, he does provide a good skill set. Again, if you need just a guy to go out there and throw 6 innings of 4 or 5 run ball just to get you over, you're not exactly trying to win a game, you're just trying to get through it because some arm injuries, you want to rest some guys. I really do think that Rich Hill becomes a valuable skill set, and if you want to move him to the bullpen and be a 1 to 2 inning guy, I think he would honestly flourish in that role. I think there are a ton of teams that could use Rich Hill's veteran pitching depth, and I really do think that overall he could be a good, solid addition to any team here out there that is trying to compete. So I'm going to go over a few teams that I think could have some interest in Rich Hill. Again, not a huge game changer, but just is a guy that I think is really fun to talk about and be able to think about adding for some teams. First off, I think that the Braves would make a lot of sense for Rich Hill. The Braves have needed veteran pitching depth all year with the Strider injury, which happened a little while ago, with the injury to Max Fried as well. I think that adding Rich Hill would really help out a lot. Also, he's never played for the Braves, so he would then have played for 14 teams, which would be really, really cool, and almost half the league. So I think that would be really sick. So being able to add another team to his repertoire there, so that would be really fun. I think that Rich Hill would just be a welcome addition to this rotation, and they've gotten the most out of middling veterans over these past few years, the Braves have, and I think adding another one would be a really solid addition and would be able to really help them out here. I think that him returning to the Mets would be a good addition. The Mets have had some pitching injuries now, mainly to Christian Scott, and being able to add in Rich Hill to this team, return there in Citi Field, where he didn't pitch that horrible, I think would be a pretty solid addition and would just overall be a fine veteran piece to this Mets rotation. And I don't know, it just feels like a David Stearns kind of player, right? Just feels like a veteran, crafty lefty that will be able to help out this team. Next, I think the Brewers. I don't know why, but I think Rich Hill makes so much sense to the Brewers. Also, I believe he's never played for them. So again, that would add in a really nice piece to this Brewers team, because again, would almost be half the league if he plays for a new team. So that would be really fun. Just my baseball fan wanting him to come out there. I don't know. I just feel like Rich Hill as a veteran lefty who wouldn't cost them much, crafty, doesn't throw the biggest fastball, would just be a very solid addition to this Brewers rotation, this Brewers depth, and I do think that they really need it because of where their pitching is at right now. So I think that adding in Rich Hill would make a lot of sense and would really help out this Brewers team and really make a lot of sense. I think that St. Louis would also make a lot of sense. Again, they just need veteran pitching depth, and being able to add in Rich Hill would really make for a really good addition, and I think it would be very exciting if I was a Cardinals fan. Dodgers were one of the two teams that Pete Abraham, who made the report about Rich Hill getting interest, or one of the two teams that he specifically mentioned in the tweet. We'll be getting to one of the other teams later. That would make a lot of sense for Rich Hill, and I agree. Rich Hill played a few years in Los Angeles with the Dodgers. The second most years he's played with any team, behind Boston, of course. So I think adding Rich Hill back into Los Angeles would be a really good addition. You've had some pitching injuries, and adding in Rich Hill, a guy who's familiar with the organization, familiar with what it means to play in a pennant race, pitching with this Dodgers team would make a lot of sense, I think, and overall would just really be a good, solid addition there. After that, you have, of course, returning to the Padres. They could use some veteran depth. He, of course, played there last year. That could make a lot of sense. Diamondbacks, they've had some pitching injuries, and I think helping out this younger team that just won an NL pennant would really help out a lot and really become a good addition for this team. Orioles need veteran pitching depth. Again, make a lot of sense. Yankees were also a team that was specifically mentioned in a Pete Abraham tweet as a team that would make a lot of sense for them. And as a player, that would make a lot of sense for them. I think that would make a lot of sense and makes a ton of sense there as well. I think that Rich Hill, again, just provides a valuable skill set of being a veteran, older pitcher that is crafty and just eats out innings, and I think would really be able to help out this Yankees team. They've had a lot of pitching injuries over the past few weeks or so. Being able to add in Rich Hill to this pitching core would be a very solid addition. Boston, returning to Boston where he's played 5 years. He's from Boston as well. I think makes a ton of sense, and overall would be a team that I think would be a player that really helps out this team. Guardians, I think especially could mean a lot for Rich Hill. I think that the Guardians overall could use a veteran arm like Rich Hill, who not only, of course, has experience, but also has experience in playoff positions where the Guardians aren't really familiar with this younger team. I'm sure him and Stephen Vogt crossed paths at one point in their professional careers, so you could add him in there. I'm sure he has, again, a relationship with the manager, so that would really help out a lot. Also, Minnesota, returning there, needs some pitching depth. Astros, same thing as well. Apparently they showed interest to him at the trade deadline last year, and I think with all the pitching injuries, they could really help him out. So overall, Rich Hill is just a fun player that adds a lot of depth to a team. He's just a good veteran, crafty pitcher that I think really helps out, and again, is just a very solid addition to any team whatsoever. So if I'm a fan of any team, I'm wanting to get him, and I think that overall he would be a very solid addition to any team, especially a younger team, and really just help out solidify some pitching depth, getting him to pitch some garbage innings through a few games or so, and he's trying to win a ring. So I think that overall, again, it's a very fun thing to talk about Rich Hill always at this time of year. Somehow Rich Hill has never won a World Series. It's kind of crazy to me, but I'm hoping you can get him one now. So yeah, that is it for my show today, guys, and is it for my fifth and final segment. I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe to the notification bell to know that you get notified when I upload, when all the other great content creators on the channel do. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. I have been your host, Sam Menzie. Again, thank you so much for watching and supporting the show. We'll be back tomorrow with my weekly Friday Power Rankings, going over where every team fits. Thank you so much for watching again. We'll see what baseball throws at us tomorrow, and enjoy the day outside. It's beautiful. See you tomorrow. Thank you, guys, and bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to